Hey guys, welcome back. This video I filmed in late July and I wasn't going to post it because there is a little bit of wind noise, but after I finished editing it, I realized there were some valuable things that came along the way. And if you could have some grace for a little bit of wind noise, there's some really cool things that happen within this video. So I hope you enjoy, and yeah, I'll see you right now. Look at this lighting, it's beautiful. But I wanted to show you this real quick. This was our garlic bed, and it's just a weedy mess, but I had some left. I guess we had, left a bulb in here, and it overwintered, did all the things. I didn't harvest the scapes, which you're supposed to get bulbs, but this, I just went and pulled the whole thing up, and this is what came up with it. 4 bulbs of garlic. That is crazy to me. I have another one. See, it's just a weedy. This is where I was going to plant the raspberries, but didn't get to that. Here in my market garden, which has been very neglected. Finally have peas. We left the gate open once, and the deer came in and mowed down my peas. They are pretty tall. Now they're subpar. But got lots of peas. These are the Oregon sugar snap, so they should be flat, and they're not. Okay, I found another garlic. Let's go see. Ugh. That is so funny. Uh-oh, these guys. I think I'm gonna leave one in there for next year. Might as well. This is a decent bulb. Oh my gosh. This is really amazing. What does this tell you? Oh! Do you see that? It's a worm. It might sound silly to be emotional over finding a worm in your garden, but this soil was completely dead. Completely dead. And I actually have never even found a worm in my little garden. And this year I've just really been praying I'd find worms, because when you find worms in your soil, it means you're doing something right. It's healthy. It's not hurting the garlic or anything. It's just, this is a massive, massive praise report. And I'm going to be honest with you. This garden is out of control. There's a lot of good that is in here still. There is so much good. But there is so much things that are going awry, and it's just a lot for one person to do. But this is a beautiful, beautiful sign. We got worms, guys. We got worms, and I'm confused by this garlic because this is a massive bulb, and it was just a small bulb that must have either it broke off, like it would have probably been like this and broke off in there, and I just forgot it. And garlic must have been in here and got overwintered, and these bulbs are bigger than most of the bulbs that came out last year. And I had a crappy garlic harvest. This year I had a really crappy garlic, and it was my own seed both the last 2 years. And I just broke down and bought a bunch of garlic from Territorial Seeds down here in the Valley of Oregon because I had such a crappy harvest. But this, maybe you just leave it in for 2 years. I don't know. The small ones you might as well just leave in, because if this is what happens, that's pretty impressive. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's what's happening here. Puny little cloves, garlic being left in, and it's growing massively. I gotta get this worm back. He's gotta go back to the garden. So I am just in this weedy mess. And I have talked to you guys about this, and it is pretty smoky, so I don't know how long I'm gonna be yakking at you, but it has, look at my living pathway, it's coming in so well. We need a weed eat pathways. I still want to keep up on that, but I have, because in years past we have this 14,000 square foot garden, and if you are new to following us, I was a market gardener and I raised vegetables for selling and have a farm stand, and then I did cut flowers, and I did both for a while. And I have always felt like, I haven't always felt, it felt right in the moment, and it felt like a big dream. And as there was one year where I grew storage carrots, and I had the other ones that I grew for market weren't ready. So I pulled from the storage carrots, and I just felt like I was stealing from my own family's table. And it really convicted me. And throughout, I keep saying it, but then I just decided, taking a lot of time away from my children, it was taking a lot of time. I've always found the Lord in the garden, and it felt like it was sucking my joy. And I don't want to do that. We're not in a financial place where I needed to be making money on the farm. I mean, it is a benefit, but it's not a necessity. It just didn't feel like what I was meant to be doing. So I pulled back drastically. And during those years, we had interns, we had volunteers, we had employees, and now we have none. And the garden is as messy as it's ever been. But to be honest with you, even when we had all that, it wasn't pristine. We still had a lot of weeds. The whole garden wasn't cultivated. It's just a massive space. And unless you're willing to delegate or to put it in like a job, like, then it's, ooh, I found, oh yeah, jackpot. I found, if you hear that chirping, we got some baby chicks. We have a lot of egg eaters in our flock. I gotta go suss that out. Make sure everybody's okay. Hopefully nobody's out of their coop. But in this year, I have the high tunnel, which I've told you guys my focus is on. The little garden is my sanctuary. That one is not going to go. The only one that I had to drop the ball was this one. And you can tell. But it was such a release and such a freedom. There has been this song that I have been singing over and over for weeks, months. And it's like, well, it's a verse as well. But where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. When you're walking in the Spirit of the Lord, there is freedom. And I felt like the Lord had called me to stay, like, we had planted a lot in here. So obviously we're still going to water, we're still going to harvest. But as far as like weeding an everyday thing, I'm pulling back. And I have felt blessed in this garden, obviously with my worms I'm finding, and that is something I've been praying for. But also when we were foolish and left the gate, it was just like a crack, but a deer could squeeze through, and she did. And she came in and mowed down all my peas, mowed down a couple of my pro cuts, all my lettuce heads, but through that, there's still a ton of abundance. Mowed into my storage carrots, but there's more than enough for us still. The peas in here are just amazing. And it actually doesn't matter if this garden fails to me this year, because I feel I am doing what I have been told to do. And obedience is where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's freedom. And walking in the Spirit, there's freedom to do. And I feel freedom. I don't feel bad. I'm looking at my weedy onions. They're bulbing up. Normally I'm in here chopping tops. I'm fertilizing. I'm scooping. I'm weeding. I have let weed this bed quite a bit. I'm just letting it go. I've been keeping up with my high tunnel and my little garden, and that's a lot for me. I've had to have my family's help this year, which I have been priding myself on not needing their help because, oh, I can just get up earlier. Oh, I can just stay out later. Oh, I can hire somebody. Oh, I can get this, and this. And the truth is, sometimes it just needs to be a family event. And it's been beautiful because my husband and I were supposed to go on this massive anniversary trip out of the country. And we had one thing after another happen this spring and early into the summer. And our anniversary was last week. And one thing after another just keeps happening. The week he took off, we still were able to go and do fun things around Oregon, but he was home with us. And during that week, he helped me clean out the garden. And then I ordered these huge boxes of cherries from Azure, and I was processing them, and he just came in unasked and sat there and pitted cherries with me for hours. That to me is way more romantic and way more meaningful than a big trip to Mexico or wherever we were gonna go. The little pieces of, and he wasn't trying to, he just wanted to do it, and probably because I was doing it, but he wasn't like, oh, help her get out of work or anything. It was just subtle and sweet, and it was the garden and the cherries and my worms. I'm feeling overwhelmed and not in a oh my gosh, I have so many weeds, but in a way of I feel loved. I feel seen. I feel cherished. And not just by my husband, but by my Heavenly Father. I know there's more things for this garden. I just think I'm going to be the one opening the gate and letting others in, instead of me being the one that is stewarding it completely on my own. So that's where we're at. I think there's going to be something big. And I'll gladly hold that gate open and step back and allow what needs to happen in here. And I will step back. That's what I got to say. Okay. Goodbye.